Hello, and welcome back to the podcast, which we are going to name today, aren't we, Lucas?
Yes, indeed we are.
Hello, Lucas.
Hello, Oliver.
We're back.
Yeah, we
It's
are.
been a while.
It has. Far too long.
Far too long. But that is the style of how we're doing this podcast, because of the agreed name that we decided to call it. We are, from now on, referring to this as the Blue Moon Podcast.
Yep, the Blue Moon, because it doesn't really happen very often.
It happens, if you will, once in a
Blue moon.
Ha
Yeah.
ha! Funny,
Laugh.
funny.
Everyone laugh. Yes.
We're currently recording this on New Year's Eve, which is a really dumb time to prepare this because there's a party being prepared downstairs, and I'm supposed to be helping
It's
out.
your party, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's partially my party. So, yeah, that's stupid. But 2016.
Also amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, should we discuss 2016?
Let's
in this
discuss
session?
2016.
What a dumpster fire.
Oh my god! I mean,
You know
it's
what's bad
better
though?
than 1665.
That's true. You mean Great Fire in London? That was 1666. What are you talking about? The plague in London?
1465. When was the Black Death?
That was 13. I give a talk about this to my school. 13 something. The Black Death was.
Yes.
It was in the 14th century. I mean, it was in the 13th century. It was 12. No, I want to say 1248, I think. So it spread to Europe, I think.
You know what? I'll Google it right now.
Okay, let's give it a quick Google. I'm pretty sure it's 1248. And it spread from like this like Genoese trading post in the Crimea.
The Black Death was in
1348.
1348.
You're right about the 13, I was right about the 48.
Yeah, I was. Yes. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Peak times. Well, yeah, also, there's a lot of other years that have been bad. But the thing is, 2017 is going to be much, much worse than 2016.
Why?
Because firstly, in 2016 I got a girlfriend, and that's probably unlikely to happen in 2017 because I already have one. And
Yeah.
secondly,
Well, unless you're a Mormon.
that's true, but I'm not, so here we are. And secondly, all the stuff that happened in 2016 is going to actually be enacted next year.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
Trump is going to become president in January. Brexit will never happen, so we don't need to worry about that one because Theresa May will never put it forward. But
Yeah.
it might happen next year. So all that stuff that we're looking forward to. 2017 will be a year without Princess Leia and without Alan Rickman.
Without every celebrity that we love.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, who do we have left? Why is Adam Sandler still around? Why is
Because the world is a cruel
why
place.
is Rob Schneider still with us?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the questions I ask myself before I go to sleep.
Why is there still Rob Schneider?
Yeah.
Rob Schneider, doop.
Or is it Zack Schneider? Is he the one that made all those,
Zack Snyder. He was the
300 man?
300 Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, Dawn of Justice. Yeah. Also, he made that. What was that movie called? The one with.
Sucker Punch.
Yeah, the 12-year-old's
Oh.
wet dream. Basically,
Yeah.
that's basically how I describe that movie.
Yes.
That was a
I
train wreck.
remember going to see that because it was just sort
You
of.
saw it in cinemas.
I saw it at cinema.
Oh, I pirated it. I stole that.
No,
Cheeky.
I saw it at the cinema because my sister was at a party, and so I was with my mum. We were just trying to kill some time, so we went to the cinema and we saw what was on, and Sucker Punch was on, so we watched it. And coming out, the description my mum gave of it was that was a film written by a man.
That's very that's very accurate. Same as Suicide Squad. Have you seen Suicide Squad?
I saw it for free.
Did you like it?
No, we
Okay.
went through this last time.
Yeah. Oh, did I do?
Yes.
Last time being last podcast.
Last podcast.
Oh my lord.
Yes, last podcast. I said I fucking hated it.
Ooh, you did a swear.
Yes. Okay.
Are we doing swears?
Yes, we've been doing swears for a long time.
I thought we were trying to stop doing swears.
No, that whole shitstorm. That's past.
Oh yeah, okay. Explain to me how was it resolved? The YouTube nightmare. Explain that to me.
I don't know.
About it. Has it been resolved? What's happened?
It's been resolved. It's so the whole thing that happened, from what I know, because there was the advertiser friendly thing, and they were starting to push forward with the whole. You must make your stuff advertiser friendly. But then YouTube realized. I think what they did was they went, okay, that was actually a really bad idea.
Everyone
You know what?
hates
We're
us,
not going to do that. But I don't want to talk about YouTube stuff. This isn't Keemstar. This isn't this isn't scarce.
Let's not be Keemstar.
I'm not one for YouTube drama.
Okay.
But all I am saying is that I'm just getting very worried about the site.
And the thing is, YouTube basically has the monopoly on
on
video sharing.
On video sharing. Like,
okay, there's Live Leak, because basically if you want to watch videos of people dying, you watch Live Leak.
right.
Basically, that's all. It's just like if you watch a video and it's on Live Leak, you know something horrifying is going to happen on it. It's just awful. And then there's YouTube. Is there anything else?
Well, there are other video sharing things like Vimeo and Dailymotion, but
That's
people
true.
don't use. Well, Vimeo is more used for people like filmmakers because
Yeah.
the quality of videos, it's much not as in quality of content, but the actual picture resolution is much higher than it is on YouTube.
In Vimeo, do you have like recommended videos? And do you have this thing kind of you can scroll through stuff?
I don't know because I've never used it.
Because I've seen stuff on Vimeo before,
Yeah.
like short movies. Actually, in fact, you're right there. And all I've seen is like the movie, that thing, and nothing else. And so I don't know if it has the same infrastructure that YouTube does of having recommended stuff, which gives you stuff you might not otherwise see. If it's just you search a video and it's there, who knows? So I'd say that YouTube does kind of have a monopoly. Is that your
My
phone?
phone just went off. One second, I'll have a look. You chat for a moment.
Yes. So we are both in our last year of school, and last year of school stuff is happening, and that means that there's stress levels are through the roof. I've had vast amounts of homework to do this holiday. I had to read a history book, all of it, about Tudor foreign policy.
But why though?
Because that's what my history coursework is on, Tudor foreign policy. And it's actually quite interesting. My question for my coursework is, to what extent did Tudor foreign policy enhance the security and prestige of England? Which I have to write 4,000 words about. And it's going to be good. I want to say that it enhanced the security, but not the prestige.
And we're back. We got called away for a moment to do some jobs.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. 2016. We were planning on going through 2016.
So it all started in Cincinnati Zoo when a toddler climbed into the cage with the gorilla around him.
Actually, no. For me, it started in on New Year's Day of 2016. Because I thought, 2016.
Almost a year ago.
Yes, almost exactly a year ago. I thought, this is going to be awesome because New Year's Day 2016 was when I reached 100 subscribers. Very nice. It's very nice.
How many do you have right now?
226. So
Well, let's make that 230 by the end of the week.
let's try.
Yes.
Well, that means that I've had an increase of 126%. So let's try and make that 150%. So that's 475 by next year.
It's big numbers.
Big numbers.
You should be able to snowball. You can snowball.
I can snowball.
Like an avalanche. No survivors.
Just completely.
And the opposite of no subscribers, which means all of them.
Yes.
Yes. So why was it? How was that bad then? If
It wasn't bad. I was saying New Year's Day, 100 subscribers. I was like, yes, 2016, the year to remember. Oh. And then it started with Cincinnati Zoo.
Yeah.
And
Went downhill from there.
Yeah.
If you can go downhill from
If
here,
you can go downhill from there. I think for me it started when David Bowie died. That was in February.
That was bad.
That was bad, and I thought, okay, like that's sad, that's annoying. But then like Alan Rickman died like 2 weeks later. I was like,
I thought it was a couple months after that.
well, either way, it was a short time in between them, and when that happened, I was like, okay, something's going on. And
Something's at work. Some forces are at play that I am not powerful enough to stop.
Oh God.
When was Brexit? That was July.
That was July. I remember like so many. There have been like not so many, but there have been like quite a few events where I'd say like this isn't going to happen, and then it happened.
Yeah.
I verbally said when we were talking about Donald Trump, he cannot win.
And here we are. I think there's a lot of that you could have predicted quite easily. Trump winning.
Yeah.
And you can see like there's a lot of angry sentiment. There's a lot of the idea of, I think I've read this quite interesting article, I can't remember what website it was. I read this article that said basically the left wing has won the cultural war in terms of being seen as more morally correct. So people are like ashamed of being right wing, so they lie to pollsters. They still are right wing, but they don't tell anyone about it. So all the polls predict that the left wing candidate or the Brexit wins, and then it doesn't happen. And that's not good, conducive to good debate. and it's not conducive to persuading people of either position, and it's just bad basically. And that's what that guy thought, and I kind of agree with that. So like that's why. Ooh, hello, pen fell off.
Pen fell off mine. Be very. If you do hear a loud bang during this, it's probably because that board is going to fall over.
What is it? What is the board?
It's meant to be a weekly planner, but I have completely failed using it.
What's RSDP in YouTube?
It's so RS religious studies, D drama, P photography, and YouTube.
Okay. Nice.
Completely failed using that.
Nice. I see plan option 2.
Yeah,
right
that was like a month ago.
Oh, I see. I see the issue here. What was? Yeah.
We're talking about Brexit, and then the pen fell off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, and Trump. Basically, it's the same thing, really. Brexit and Trump. It's just the angry majority of people who feel ignored by globalism and by the liberal elite urbanites who are like snooty and rich, which we are, frankly.
Sure. Yeah.
They feel ignored by them, and it's not an unfair thing to think. Particularly rural people feel ignored by the city. They're left behind. Left behind by restructuring from 2008 housing crash, all that kind of stuff. They feel left behind, and that's why they're angry. And that's what I think happened. Maybe that is me being what's the word? Patronising. Maybe that's true.
But also, I think since the majority of people who voted for Brexit were elderly, 65 and up, they were alive when Britain did become part of the European Union.
Oh, so they still see it as harken back to the old days.
Yes.
It's not all they've ever known. That makes sense, yeah. That does make sense. Oh, I don't know about what I feel about the EU anymore. I'm not sure. I like the idea of everyone working together.
Yes, I think I think it is better when there are people working together.
Yeah, sure, unity is better than division, but companies benefit from it loads.
There are flaws to... Of course there are flaws to the European Union. Like, there are flaws... There's no such thing as a perfect system.
Yeah. Basically, if you're listening to from those who aren't in the EU, such as Americans, and have no idea what we're talking about, there is literally zero way of quickly explaining the EU. Maybe say, after World War II, they were like, how can we make sure the countries never fight each other again? Let's make them all completely economically dependent on each other. And then make it really, really complicated from there. And then have freedom of movement, freedom of people, freedom of trade, but then also have huge amounts of regulations and have, I think a third of our laws are from the EU.
Right.
Some vast number which we'd have to rewrite now, apparently. And also have, shared currency, which means that people can trade easily from country to country, but also means that if you declare war on someone else, both your economies collapse, so you don't do that.
Okay.
And to that extent,
that works.
Has there been another war? I don't think so.
No.
Will there be another war? Who knows?
Who knows?
But, that's kind of
it doesn't. There isn't like a war on the horizon. There isn't. Well,
until Trump
Europe.
tweets like "fucking China," and a nuclear war just like breaks out.
There's no war in the immediate vicinity of our location in sight in part of the EU.
And I think that's what in that respect, I think everyone has to agree. Even if you rampantly hate Brussels and the EU and everything it stands for, you probably have to agree, yeah, house kind of wars haven't happened.
Yes.
Although, there is a trend of roughly 1 or 2 catastrophic colossal wars per century. So, going backwards, we had World War II and I happening.
Yeah.
And then before then, we had the Napoleonic Wars. And before then, we had the 30 Years War. And before then, we had the 100 Years War. And basically, so we have a kind of cycle of just huge colossal wars every century kind of happening.
But wars are getting... it's been showing that less people are dying in wars now.
Well, in small wars, yeah. But tell that to World War II.
Yes, a lot of...
It's quite feasible. Say we're getting into our period of colossal war. Say one does break out.
Sure.
I think if it is serious, many more people will die than World War II, for example.
Ignore what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. So I'd say many more people will die if there is a massive war, and that would be very bad. And maybe we are in line for. I've seen arguments. Yeah, I've seen that video.
You have seen
arguments saying that maybe war is over, and yet they're saying that on the very beginning of the 21st century.
True.
So I think it's a bit premature to say that we're done with war. I hope we are. Obviously, it'd be nice.
Might I just say that we... So, before we continue... I'm going to have to stop you there, Lucas. But let me just say that right now we're in a different location of where we'd usually be filming it. We'd usually be filming in the basement of our house right now, we're in the attic because that's now my current room.
Mm.
It does mean you can maybe hear the traffic outside because if you heard a siren went by just then. So that, just a little word of warning, maybe you're hearing stuff.
Yeah, can we dampen the window or like put some...
Oh, we could. It would take time, and I'm sure our audience doesn't want to listen to that right now.
Just rustlings of cloth, basically, yeah.
And just people, just put that there. I'm not there.
And you just hear a clatter.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Well, do you know what I wonder? Have people actually listened all the way through the other 2 ones?
There have some people. So if let's.
Okay, because I'll be interested. It was quite long, and we're basically just chatting.
Yeah.
And like, I like to think that we're quite interesting people. I would like to think that.
Everyone, as I say, everyone thinks they're interesting. Everyone thinks they're funny.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's just completely wrong. Very, very possible. Why do you have a Guy Fawkes mask on?
Well, it was the video was called "I Am Anonymous."
Is it taking the piss out of Anonymous?
I wasn't taking the piss out of Anonymous. I was talking about my view on of channels who don't show their faces. Like,
oh, so like
I hate everything,
Yeah.
even though he's revealed his face now, and which completely pulls apart that thing. But there are still people like Cry and things like that.
yeah, and like alternate history hub and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Let's
Let's look at the first one. We've got 2 comments. We've got
Yeah.
2. So looking at.
Brian Johnson, this is gay. Please don't do any more.
Well, this is for you, Brian Johnson.
Fuck you. Did you know him, or was he just?
No idea who he is,
Oh,
but he
lovely.
commented on quite a few of my videos, and then he just stopped.
Well, saying like this is gay stuff.
Well, no, but I think this was like the most hateful thing he sent.
What does he usually say?
He, like one time, I think it was in my Summer in the City video.
Well, I'm curious to see the other comment on it. Sorry, can we just?
Yeah, that was by someone I actually knew,
Yeah.
Alex. Hey Bainesy, because I know you're listening. I think you're still listening.
I hope it's still
Let's read this comment. Right, firstly, great video. Secondly, thanks for complimenting the viewer throughout the video. Well done if you're currently listening at this point. Audio suffers occasionally from whispering or laying back. Yes, you also would hear in the first video there's like a hum, which was the fan on my computer. I have resolved that by moving my computer on a completely different set of furniture.
There still might be sounds of me rustling.
Oh
slams.
yes. So we were talking about in the first video. We mentioned an actress, Diana Quick. Her name was.
Who was
She was the one who came to our house dinner and gave the speech about how all men are awful in a boy's house.
You told me, yes.
Yes, but in saying to add to the horror of the house dinner that it was Diana Quick, who I had the great delight.
This guy goes to your school. Doesn't
Yes.
He? Oh, I see.
Who had the great delight of sitting beside all night. Also.
You never showed any of the main table any magic.
Yeah, I was kind of hired to do magic, except I wasn't hired, and also but when you're doing magic, you don't do it during courses.
Yeah, that's kind of rude. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and so the food came along, and I also needed to get to the table because I was part of it. So, didn't have enough time to get.
When you say hired, what do you mean? Were you paid?
No, I wasn't paid.
Oh, dead.
They just. I did actually get hired. And another house dinner, and I actually did get paid for it.
How much did you get paid?
I got paid 30 quid.
Ooh, the magic is paying off.
Yes, it has, except I stopped.
It was paying off until you stopped.
My friend Brett told us, I think it was him, who said that he was on the same table as the person, Siren, please don't do that, Siren going by, but he was mentioning about the person who was staying there, her friend, who brought in twigs that smelled of bananas and spoke about wood lice. Because he was a wood louse collector.
You collected wood lice. Are there many different kinds of wood lice?
Maybe.
Are there enough to collect them?
Why wood lice?
People collect crazy things.
I know people collect crazy things, or like examining, but why did he bring in twigs?
Yeah, I wouldn't bring in twigs to a dinner. Wait, was this to like the house dinner?
This was the house dinner, which is a formal event.
What do you wear to a house dinner? I've never been to a boarding school. So
Suits.
Okay.
Like sixth form, like we're meant to wear black tie. But
wow, so like proper like full black tie.
Yeah, but I don't have black tie.
Fair. I'm guessing in January my kilt is arriving.
Ooh.
And that is my 18th birthday present. Made specially kilt for me. Ogilvy tartan. Prince Charles jacket, all that kind of stuff, all the fancy gear. It's arriving in January. Very exciting.
Very nice.
Yes. So I can look like a prat in front of everyone, and next time there's a black tie thing.
Then there was episode 2, which didn't get told as a comment, but got told as a mention in my tweet, except I've got a lot of stuff in my tweets. Oh, I've got a notification. I don't know what that's going to say. But I did message it to you. Let's just scroll up.
It's going to be a lot of scrolling.
It's going to be a lot of scrolling, but it'll be worth it. Let's just...
so what was this? What was this? Is this a comment on the second podcast?
On the second podcast, except it wasn't actually a comment. It was tweeted at me.
Tweeted at you as a comment on the second podcast?
Yes.
Okay. And what was it saying?
It was saying, I was just listening to episode 2. I think it was after that. Yeah, it was long after that. God, that was a while ago.
Oh, was that the one saying you got good chemistry and all that?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
At Dodo Bird.
Is that someone you knew as well?
Not someone I knew. There it is.
Are they a person in your school or just...
No idea, just a fan.
Just a rando, that's
Random
cool.
fan. Shout out to Dodo Bird 442, except she has changed her name. She hasn't she's like traded accounts.
Is that to avoid people? Maybe we shouldn't shout out.
No. She said like she had an account. Yeah. This one. Dora at this beat is crack. So, shout out to you. Let's see what I got here. Special shout out to my internet friend, Oliver Catford. You're lovely. Hope we get to talk more in 2017. Thank you, Dora.
She sent you a virtual hug.
She sent me a virtual hug.
That's
Thank
sweet.
you.
Have you ever met this person?
I've never met this person.
Okay. Your first crazed fan? No,
Yeah.
that's a mean thing to say.
My first fan.
Your first fan?
I'm
your fan.
Yeah, but you're like...
You can't see this, but I'm giving you a massive
friend.
I'll give you a massive thumbs up. Right now. That's what's happening.
Oh my god.
What?
No, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Just cringy app or...
You're a good friend, Lucas. Do you have any social media where we can find you?
Me?
Yep.
No, but you know what I was thinking actually?
What?
People, listeners might find this possibly dull, but I wanted to start a kind of history podcast where I talk about history. And would you be able to hook me up, like help me get that set up basically? That's going to be on YouTube soon. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. Ideas in the comments.
Start a new account.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
oh my god! Wait.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
No, wait.
Don't call me out. I don't want to. We all have a past.
I know we have a past, and we need to talk about it for comedic effect. Like, if you talk about your past, I will talk about probably. If we talk about this, you'll probably have a cringe fest. I will talk about probably the most embarrassing thing that I remember doing. And this was on stage in front of 100 people.
Okay. Is it okay? I want to say 2 words to you, and if it's that, then you can't.
What is it?
Wait, if I say Darth Small.
It's not Darth Small.
Okay.
I can't see Darth Small.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Not you.
Never mind, listeners. You don't want to know what that is.
But do you remember when we set up an account for you?
Oh yeah, I do remember. And I hate hearing the sound of my own voice, so please don't play it.
No, you didn't even say anything. That was the weird thing. Let's see, I might have to...
It makes me sweat to hear my own voice. I hate it so much.
No, because I remember we made a video together on my, well, not on my channel, because it was just you back then. But no, you're not subscribed on it. That's weird.
Pete, I'm sure I'm subscribing. I'm subscribed to a different channel, maybe.
Maybe it's 3 stack trick. Because I remember we made this video together. I'm just rambling at this point because no one.
While we're looking, why don't you tell me your embarrassing story?
Okay, so at my old school, we had a talent competition, right? It was called School Name Has Talent. I'm not going to say what the school was because stalkers. I can't find the video. Anyway, and so I entered it for a magic competition.
Of course.
And so I went through the auditions, and that was just in front of some of the prefects, and they were playing the judges. And so I got through, and I was just doing some tricks, stuff that was very comfortable to me. Yeah. And they said, okay, you're through to the main stage performance.
Yeah.
And I got really cocky. I was just like, oh, I know what I'm doing. So what I thought I'd do is recreate a a stage routine that was done by Barry and Stuart. You know Barry and Stuart.
Okay, yeah, familiar.
And it was a very good routine. And if I can find the name of it, then you can go watch it.
Link it in the
I'll link it in the description if I find it. And so I thought, okay.
What did this routine involve?
So the routine. so it started off with on the routine. Stuart was doing this ridiculous dance, and he was like all nerded up, and so he had glasses and was wearing a suit. And I was like, okay, I need glasses. I don't have glasses. So my first plan was I was going to badly cut plastic cups up and attach wires to it. Looked awful, so I just used sunglasses. Okay.
Yes,
Firstly, looked like an idiot. Secondly,
what was the trick that you were trying to do?
So the first trick that I remember doing was a trick where you have a mixed up Rubik's cube, and then you shake it, and then it becomes normal.
Yeah.
Right. At that point, I didn't know how to solve a Rubik's cube, so I had a Rubik's cube that was mixed up, and for it, you need a pre-solved cube.
Yeah.
So what I did was I Sharpied all the sides out, and then made the trick side for it.
Yeah.
So I was doing it, and it was done mixed up, and then I did the moves that I did, except I messed it up.
Ooh.
So when I was like, and it's shaken, it was still mixed up. That was the first part.
Okay.
And I was like, and then the next part of the trick was that he makes the Rubik's Cube vanish.
Yeah.
And that required a thing called the gecko. I didn't have the gecko, so I just threw it behind me.
I'm guessing they saw how you did that
They
one.
saw how I did that one. Okay. Now at that point of the trick, I did a trick that was successful,
Okay.
with quotation with bunny ears for the listeners. And for that, you make it seem like you're really sweaty. So you make like water trickle out your. So what I did was I got a wet flannel and I had it in my back pocket. So as I was performing, my back pocket was just getting wetter and wetter. And so I got it into my hand and I was like squeezing it, and it got a reaction. People were like, "Oh, yeah, that's gross." Now comes.
I just believed that you were really sweaty because it was going horribly wrong.
Now comes
Okay.
the embarrassing bit.
Oh dear.
This is the really embarrassing bit. So, oh god, I went into the audience. We needed to get someone from the audience to do it, and so I went into the audience and I found a girl who I fancied.
Oh no!
I know this isn't the embarrassing bit. And so she came on stage and we did the trick. And the trick was I was like, oh, like name any card that you want to do, and she'd say the name of the card. And I'll be like, I'll go and say, could you shuffle the cards? They pull it
I've just
out.
got knots to my stomach. This is so horrible.
And the card was the card that she said. There was only one card in the box.
Yeah.
That worked. It worked because a couple days before then, I came up to her and said, "Hey, I'm doing this thing, and when I'm gonna pick you." And could you just say the 8 of clubs or whatever?
Did she say the 8 of clubs?
Yes, she said the 8 of clubs.
At least because she could have really screwed you there.
She could have really.
Like Queen of Diamonds. And, like,
and I'd just be like.
yeah.
And so, yes, that was.
So it worked. Yeah.
It worked, but oh my god,
Why was that the embarrassing bit?
that was no the fact that it was embarrassing was because like all my peers knew that I fancied her, and they figured out that I picked her like before then. It was and the fact that I didn't do, like, I pretty much only did one trick, and the
that
trick
was the one that went awfully wrong.
well, no, it wasn't even the one that went awfully wrong. Like, that was I did one trick that worked,
Okay.
but it wasn't even a very good trick,
Yeah.
and everyone saw right through it.
Yeah.
And it was from a routine that was really good and really well made.
Why didn't you do that routine?
Well, no, because I didn't have the stuff. It was done by professionals who
didn't
had
have
professional equipment. As I said, I got too cocky.
You didn't have the stuff for Barry and Stuart either.
No, that was the thing I stole it from.
Oh, I see. Oh lordy. Well, did you win?
No, well, there was no winner.
Oh, I
It
see.
was like, let's all thank the people who came up.
Wait, so it wasn't a talent competition then?
No, it wasn't. It was It was stupid and by far the most embarrassing. Right, let me just say, like, this is how I've been getting, because there are things in my past that make us cringe, yeah?
Of course.
And I think a good way to get over that is to tell it...
Embrace the cringe.
Embrace the cringe, but also tell it, you know, to try and create comedy.
Yeah.
Like, there are those, but then there are also repressed memories. So, someone in my house told me, we were sitting in dinner one night, and we were talking about things, and then this person turned to me, George, that's his name. Hey George. He turned to me and goes, what was in the towel, Catford? And I go, what? He goes, in the towel. And I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he tells me this story, and this is the story. So, in year 9 and 10, I was really unorganised.
Okay.
I was like I'm pretty unorganised now, but I was super unorganised. Like, I would, like, my dirty laundry would, like, I would keep it in one place and never do anything about it, that it really started to smell.
Okay.
Like my room stank all the time.
I can see where this is going.
Okay, so one day...
Yeah?
Like, Donnie is walking by George. He says he walks by my door and he says he can smell it from the corridor.
Oh, God.
And so he knocks on my door and I open the door and he goes, Catford, like, what smells? And I go, and he says, I go, nothing. And I close the door and he goes, okay, walks off. As he's walking off, he says, I run out of my dorm holding a towel and just running off. And so he's saying to my friend Bertie, he's like, shit in the towel, shit in the towel.
So what was in the towel?
I have no idea.
Was it like some particularly dirty underwear?
Probably, something like that. I seriously can't remember.
Oh my lord. Such an L. That's such an L. Oh lordy. I'm trying to think. I must have some stories like that, but they're repressed like that. Like, if someone told me, then I'd be able to relate to you. The tale of woe.
Oh my god.
That's bad. That's some bad stuff.
Jesus Christ. Like, I wasn't... I think we can all say that we were idiots back in...
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like, year 9 and 10...
No, for me it was more 7 to 9.
Yeah, 7 to 9. That's like when puberty hits.
Those were the blunder years. It was cringy af. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think 10 onwards I got a bit better from
yes.
then on,
I think 11 is when I started picking up.
Yeah, basically. I usually just like hate me until about 3 months ago. That's my standard.
and then as 3 months passed, that me.
Exactly.
You're just constantly developing. You're just
exactly.
always becoming a better person.
You know the end of history paradox.
The sorry?
End of history paradox, where you assume that the you that's now is going to be the you in 20 years.
Yeah.
Kind of like, think about how different you are to you 2 years ago.
Yes, I think about that like all the time, because I was like a while ago. I can't remember what it was I was thinking about, but I could say something like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this forever. This is what I'm going to do."
Yeah.
And then I just. And then I find something better or get bored of it. And so I'm just like, okay, I found something new. This is what I'm going to do forever. So I totally understand what you're talking about there.
So it's just like you can't, basically about personal identity, you can't expect the future you to be anything like the present you. In fact,
Yes, here we go, Shipathesius.
No, not kind of Shipathesius. Basically, philosophy of personal identity is what we're doing right now. My set text is a personality book, and this guy called Derek Parfit, he says that you should treat future you like another person that you're related to.
Okay.
Like you would treat your dad or your brother or something, or or more like your son or your grandson. They have the same level of connection to you as your grandson does, in future you. So you should treat them like you shouldn't smoke because you wouldn't give your son cancer, and you don't have the right to damage yourself because it's not you in 20 years. It's basically someone different.
And technically, it is someone different.
Yeah, essentially, that's what he's arguing. So that's quite interesting, and that's basically what he says you should do. Like, and which I think I like to think that's now
that is a very interesting outlook on life.
Yeah, he said I love Derek Parfit. He's such a G. His book is, if you're interested, Reasons and Persons. Highly recommend.
I'm not going to read it.
It's really, really good.
I can't
fair
read.
enough.
I'm dyslexic.
Okay.
Like comic books is like.
He does write in very short sentences. It's kind of weird. Like he delineates really complicated thoughts in really... no sentence will be more than like 10 words at any one time. He just says, and this, and this, and this. And he just kind of breaks it down. It's really well written, basically, I'd say. I'm a big fan of P.
It's not the fact that... It's not like the style of writing that I have trouble with. It's...
just reading.
It's the printing. It's the paper and the letters that hits me. When I see it, like... I see patterns in the negative space, and that jumps out at me. Okay. So I'm just like, this hurts my eyes reading it.
So audiobooks are better for you?
Audiobooks would be better for me.
Okay, that's an interesting thing.
Like audiobooks are always... it's what I've been doing all my life. Well, not all my life, but for a really long time. So much that I would put, like, in my young years, I would put on an audiobook before I went to bed. Sure enough. Except I did that so much that my brain has now become associated with sort of noise and going to bed.
So you can't go to bed with that one?
Well, no, it's not that I can't go to bed with that one, but it's a lot easier for me to go to bed with something on in the background. Mm-hmm. So I could just put on a podcast or an audiobook.
Have you heard of I think I told you about this before.
You have told me about
Sleep With Me podcast, yes. Yeah.
Tell it to the people who don't know it.
Well, it's this podcast that I can recommend. I have no affiliation with the guy. He's from Midwest America, I think. This podcast is Sleep With Me, where the guy tells really rambling, boring stories that don't go anywhere, and he has a really, really boring tone of voice, and you basically listen to it and you fall asleep to it, and there's like 100 hours of it, and you'll never run out, and it's just like unbelievably mind-crushingly dull, on purpose. So that you then fall asleep, and it's quite good.
So that you do fall asleep.
Yeah, sorry. So you do fall asleep. You're meant to fall asleep to it. It's quite cool.
We went down to some family friends the other day on Boxing Day, as in I did, and the person and the people's grandfather were there, and all I could describe to him as a he was. I think I described him as like a proper old person. Yes, I described him as a proper old person.
Like a proper gentleman.
No. Like something that, like stuff that you really associate with old people.
Legit old guy.
Yes, like he would tell stories about how he was in the war, and he would tell, and he'd just ramble off. Yeah. And I think at one time at dinner, he was saying, and blah blah blah. Oh, you know the song. Do 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 do, and we were all just there going, "Oh, you're so old."
Which war did he fight in?
Well, I don't know if he did. I don't know.
Or which war was he alive in that he's talking about? Is it Second World War?
Probably Second World War.
Okay, not like Korean or anything. Or like...
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Yeah, he might have some interesting tales. You know.
He might. I can tell you, he's not made in. I don't know where that sentence is going.
Fair enough. I was just thinking about I remember in history at GCSE, I was learning about Berlin Wall going down, like Cold War stuff.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, "Oh God, we're so old, we can remember the Berlin Wall going down." And my grandfather was there. I was like, "I remember the Berlin Wall going up," like laughing at him for being old. I was just laughing, thinking to myself, "This is a horrible thing to do," but here we are. It's quite funny. Old people.
Oh, honk. Did you hear the honk?
Yes, angry person outside.
Yes, there is currently roadworks going on outside. Yes, so outside my house. I hope none of you get smart enough to figure out.
Can you identify from where the roadworks are in London?
Through this description.
Yeah.
So outside is it's a 4-lane road.
Okay.
So there's 2 lines of 2, and then that moves into the undisclosed street, which is just one really wide road made of 4 lanes.
Okay, kids. Don't tell people on the internet where you live.
Yes.
Don't do it. That's what we're doing now. We're not telling you where we live.
Yes. England. Well, stretch London. That's as much as you're going to get out of me. And so it's 4 lanes, and the roadworks are turning 4 lanes to 1 lane, including the bus stops.
Oh dear. That's bad. That's gonna cause a lot of tooting and beeping.
There has been a lot of tooting and beeping.
How do you sleep at night? Noise helps you.
Well, not this noise. Like.
Oh, okay. You want something like low-level talking or something?
Yeah, talking. I usually listen. The podcast that I usually listen to, even though I finished it, is the Parapod.
Oh yeah, I know you love that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I've currently finished Hello from the Magic Tavern, which is a fun old podcast. I think you'd like that.
Which one is it again? Sorry?
Hello from the Magic Tavern is a podcast about a guy. It's a fictitious podcast, so it's set in a fictional world where our podcast host Arnie, his name is, he gets sucked through a portal behind the back of a Burger King into a magical land called Foon, which is like a sort of Middle-earth Narnia type style. And so he set up his podcast, because he's still got his podcasting equipment, and so he set up a podcast in the local tavern called the Vermilion Minotaur, and he has two co-hosts, Chunt, who is a shapeshifter, who usually takes the form of a badger, and a wizard called Usador, who has a very long name, but since he says it at the beginning of every episode, I have now remembered it.
Which is?
I shall do it in the voice. I am Usador, wizard of the 12th realm of Athesius, master of light and shadow, manipulator of magical delights, devourer of chaos, champion of the great halls of Tarakas. The elves know me as Fiang Yalak, the dwarves know me as Zonin and Hookstanges, and I am known in the northeast as Gasmoenius Maystar. And there are other secret names which you do not know of yet. And that's his name.
That's quite cool. Just a bit. So is he just like? What do they talk about? In
Well,
this podcast?
each episode they have a sort of resident of Foon who they interview.
Okay.
So they'd have actors and kings and I think and they had a giant eagle in there.
Okay, that kind of stuff. So it's a bit like fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy stuff.
That's
but
quite
done
cool.
in a podcast style.
I like that. I'll listen to that.
But it's also it's not sort of like generic fantasy stuff. There are like twists done on it. So Chunt, who is a shapeshifter, he doesn't shapeshift at will. He can only shapeshift with stuff that he has had sex with.
I see. As in, like, finished having sex with?
When he has sex, if he has sex with something, he will turn into that thing in 2 weeks' time.
And then permanently?
Oh no, until he has sex with something else.
As in, like, yeah, okay. So he can't, okay. So how did he end up as a badger?
By having sex with a badger.
How did he discover that he had this power?
I don't know. Well, he said his mother was a manticore and his father was a hunger ghost. So,
Oh, she's never been human.
I don't know.
Well, he may have been human, but he wasn't born
What
human.
I'm interested in is what was his original form.
Yeah. What was he born as? What's a hunger ghost?
Like a person who died, but when they died, they were really hungry.
Oh, then they have a hunger and like wanna.
Yeah, they're just very hungry and they're ghosts.
Like the ones in what's it called? Don't cross the streams. Ghostbusters. What's the ghost that eats loads of stuff?
Slimer.
The Slimer. I think that's the one.
That's his name.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Hunger ghost. Could be. I like to think that all the like kind of fantasy worlds are all connected somehow, and you could kind of travel between them. That'd be cool.
Well, this is set in like an alternate reality. It's been pulled through a portal. So,
So in theory, you could travel to like
Yes,
Narnia, or
you
you could travel to Middle Earth. That'd be
Yes.
quite cool.
possibly.
Possibly.
And so he says, at the beginning of the podcast, it's like Narnia or Middle Earth, and then Yusuke goes, why does Earth have a middle? Well, and why isn't there top Earth or bottom Earth?
There is.
There is.
Yeah, as in heaven and hell, basically.
Oh right.
And it's the middle. That's what the Saxons believed.
Oh, okay.
And that's why we know England is Middle Earth. Because of that. It's quite interesting.
That is.
They had 9 levels of worlds. At least the Norse did. I assume it's the same vague religion.
Something like that.
Anglo-Gallo-Norse.
Well, actually, like if you've read the Silmarillion, have you?
No.
Do you know what it is?
Yes.
Yes. It was like, if you don't know, Tolkien, who's the writer of Lord of the Rings, before he wrote Lord of the Rings, he pretty much wrote the entire lore of
L-O-R-E, that is.
L-O-R-E, not L-A-W. Although there are probably laws of the lore
Almost certainly,
in that lore. But he never published it, so the Silmarillion was made after he died, and it was
The Silmarillion.
the Silmarillion. I don't know. I call it.
S-I. Anyway, yeah, fine.
I thought it was S-A.
Look it up. I'm pretty sure it's Silmarillion. Anyway, yes, isn't it his collection of notes basically about the world? And he died before he could write his full. I think Lord of the Rings is like a starter
Right.
for what was going to be a complete history of Middle Earth. No, try Silmarillion.
Okay. Yes.
Silmarillion. Yeah,
Silmarillion.
Yeah.
I got it wrong, so it's Silmarillion.
Anyway,
Anyway,
so, yeah.
But what I was going to say was if you've read it, which I haven't, as I said, I don't like reading. But what I learned from it is that the wizards, they're not just like wizards, they're angels.
Yes, I remember hearing vaguely like that. Yeah, so they were around before the creation of the world, that kind of stuff.
I know that there was the god. I think he was called Eru or something like that. That's like the god of. And I got called away again. Oh, it's annoying. planning for a party, but then again, it is happening.
At least you have a party, yeah. But
in an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, fair. Okay, where were we?
We were talking about Eru.
Yes, some brilliant stuff. Why were we talking about that?
I think we just got onto the subject on the fact that...
Okay, it's just Lord of the Rings
Gandalf,
stuff.
yeah, Lord of the Rings stuff. Laundry rings.
What is your favourite fantasy world? Is it Lord of the Rings?
I don't know a lot of fantasy worlds.
Fair.
So, like, I never... I'm ashamed to say this, but I never watched Game of Thrones. So, it's not that I don't want to.
I don't really like Game of Thrones. I think people are too amoral in it. People actually have morals in the real world, and that's kind of unrealistically portrayed in Game of Thrones.
Does this happen in both the series and the books?
Yeah, I think people are... Yeah, they're pretty brutal in both. Pretty more brutal in the TV series because it's HBO. But in both, they're pretty horrifying. And it's like, yeah, people actually have morals in the real world, and they weren't just Machiavellian the entire time. Like, anyway. Yeah, so I'm not a massive fan of the Game of Thrones world, so it's not a massive shame that you haven't read those books.
Yeah. But yeah, it probably is Lord of the Rings. Or Foon.
Are you a big fan of Foon?
I do like Foon.
Okay.
Made by the great gods Fu, U, and Un.
Those are the three gods of Foon.
Those are the three gods of Foon.
I like that. That's nice.
Yes, that is that.
I wonder...
We're adults now.
Yeah, that's a new thing that we should have probably mentioned.
Yeah.
We are fully paid up adults. Adulting all over the shop. Adulting all over the floor, sometimes.
Yes.
We are both 18. You as of, what, 4 days ago?
4 days ago.
Nice. And me as of 22nd November.
Yep.
Which is pretty exciting, actually, and also quite scary.
Yeah.
Basically. If there's a snap election tomorrow, we'll be able to vote in it.
But is there a snap election happening tomorrow?
It would be snap, so it'd happen on the day.
Right.
Well, it wouldn't happen on the day, but it'd happen. You wouldn't get much notice.
Right.
If the government collapsed, then we'd be the ones voting for. Did I tell you that I got called for jury service actually?
I did not.
Well, a week after I turned 18, I got called for jury service. And I tried to defer it because it was in January.
Okay.
And then it got deferred to during my A-levels.
Okay.
Which is far, far worse. So I need to change it to something else.
You should like give a reason of why.
Well, things like you can't defer it a second time. It said.
Okay.
But surely it's an exceptional circumstance that I'm literally 18. Like.
Mention that you know what jury nullification is.
What is jury nullification?
Jury nullification is a thing where it's a thing that is real. By the way, don't do this because doing so could get you arrested.
Is it in America or is it in Britain?
It's like in Britain.
Okay.
I think because like when I was learning about it, they were mentioning the Crown, and they don't really have the Crown in America.
Fair.
But in jury nullification, it's where the defendant is absolutely 100% without a shadow of a doubt guilty, but shouldn't be punished.
Okay. Is that when you think that? What do you do?
You can say null, but like
rather than verdict to guilty, not guilty, you say null.
Yes,
okay.
but saying so to do that because it goes like against. It's complicated, and I don't know all the laws off the top of my head, but I believe that they said. I think they mentioned it when I was saying merely knowing what it is could mean you aren't allowed to take part in jury service.
Okay. That's quite interesting then, because my mum did jury service. She did it twice, and one of the times she did it, the case that they had was this. I think it was a Russian guy, and he had been a doctor in Russia, and he had moved to England to be a doctor as well. And he had to retrain because obviously medical stuff's different. So he was trained to be an NHS doctor, and the guy that he was staying with was the guy that had brought him over from Russia to England. And the guy that he was staying with was this kind of dodgy guy. He was like involved in gangs, gang activity, that kind of stuff. And it became clear over the course of the trial that the Russian guy owed the person who's staying with money. And as a way to pay off this debt, this is no joke, he basically scammed at an ATM and was scamming people out of their ATM money. He was doing some kind of scammy thing. And my mum said that she could basically see like two paths for this guy's life. So the first one being that he gets acquitted from this crime and, goes off, becomes a doctor in the NHS, contributes to society, saves lives, yada, yada, yada. And the second one is that he goes to prison. and then he's a Russian immigrant in prison. And I don't think you can even be in the NHS if you have a criminal record. And he would probably reoffend, and his life would spiral down, and he'd end up just another person who's not doing anything to help society, and it's all disastrous. And my mum could just see these two pass, and really, really, really didn't want. Obviously, there was there was video footage of him committing the crime. He obviously had done it, but she really, really did not want to find him guilty because it would just ruin his life, basically.
Yeah.
And all the other jurors are saying it's not your job. It's our job just to ascertain the facts. The judge will decide on what the punishment should be. And she's like, no, but you can't do it. In the end, she did say guilty, and I don't know what happened to him. But quite possibly not something good. So if she had known about jury nullification, whatever that is, then maybe that would have resulted differently.
Maybe, but like I said, this is not legal advice. Do not take our word for it.
I don't know what it is. Don't act on the advice of some people on the internet.
Yes,
we could be anyone. We could be criminals who want people to know about jury nullification so we don't get tried. Is that a thing people do? Do you do that?
I don't know.
Do you commit crimes? Is that a thing people do?
I have accident. I'm not. I'm not going to go into that subject.
Oh, go on.
No.
I accidentally committed a crime.
Okay,
Go on.
I have accidentally committed a crime. I've accidentally committed a military offence.
You're right. If anyone asks, then we can just say it was just for the comedy and it wasn't true. But we know it's really true. Listeners, we know it's true. Right, tell me more.
Right, so I go to a thing. At my school, we have a thing called CCF. Right, you do CCF. For those who don't know, it stands for Combined Cadet Force.
It's like Scouts, but more military.
Yes, there we go. And once a year, they take us on summer camp, which is like summer camp, except more military. And we would do exercises involving firing rifles. We were firing blanks, although we did do things like range days, where we'd shoot live rounds down a range and do clay pigeon shooting and things like that. One time, we were doing an overnight exercise. Mm. And so I was the I can't.
On stag duty, you're sentry.
No, I wasn't on sentry. I was group leader. I can't.
Section commander.
Section commander. That's it.
Yeah.
And so, there was a moment where we were all in all-round defence.
Yeah. And that's where you lie down in a circle, all pointing outwards with your rifles to make sure that no one can't get snuck up on. Basically.
And I was in the middle, and we were all reloading.
Yeah.
And the rounds come in those little cardboard boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the cardboard boxes got put in my rocket packs, which is like a backpack.
Yeah.
Essentially. Then at the end of it, we all did that. We came back. We were clearing out our dorms, our barracks for leaving, and then I open my bag and I find all these cardboard boxes.
Okay.
And I'm just like, okay, they're just cardboard boxes. I'll put them in the bin. Then the teacher comes in and he sees them and he goes, oh no, we can't do that. We can't put those there. They'll have our heads for that. And then he says, who are these? And I go, they're mine. Yeah. And they're going, wait, but you gave the declaration that you said you had no ammunition, blank rounds or parts thereof.
Was it just the cardboard boxes?
They were just the cardboard boxes.
That's fine then.
I know that's fine, but that's still a military offence.
Nah.
No, it is.
Fine.
And they were saying, Catford, you're going to go to jail. You're going to go to jail and you're going to get kicked out of your house and your parents are no longer going to love you. But it's one of the teachers, who I think actually did work in the military or something like that.
Yeah.
She said her dad was once driving along and either got caught for speeding or something, and the policeman looked through his car and found one of those cardboard boxes that was hers.
Yeah.
And he had to get pulled aside and questioned about.
Oh, that really means do you have rounds around?
Or something like that.
Yeah. I've got loads of those cardboard boxes at home. I don't think it's a crime. I think they're just messing with you.
But it goes in the declaration. I have no live rounds, blank ammunitions,
empty cases,
pyrotechnics or parts thereof.
Yeah.
That goes under parts thereof.
No, pyrotechnics means a part of a grenade,
the
firing pin of a grenade or something. That would be a part thereof.
No, it's there's pyrotechnics and then there's other and
parts thereof, parts of pyrotechnics. I reckon you're fine. I think you haven't.
I am fine, but just.
Did they catch you?
They didn't catch me.
Then you haven't committed a crime.
I took the cardboard boxes home and burnt them.
Nice. That's the classy way to do it. I know I do have about 20 of those camouflage. You know the camo cream?
Oh yeah.
Little pads.
Oh yeah.
I've got so many of those at home.
And they're rock solid.
I know, they're completely useless, most of them.
They're always out of date.
You know the classic
I've never seen one that's in date.
I've got some new ones.
Oh.
You know what you're meant to do though, apparently? You scoop out a little bit of the green, you spit in your palm, you put the green on, you really rub it in, and you get a base layer of green on your face.
I was to always do to base layer with the brown.
I thought... Yeah, brown or green. I can't remember why green was meant to be better, but there's a reason why.
Green's always the hardest. Like
No,
brown,
black's okay. No, black just goes everywhere. Green is usually the hardest. Yeah.
and then brown is always the softest.
Yeah, brown's always the.
Why is that? Why can't they all be?
Some part of the chemical composition.
Although I did have the jungle one, and also they're really hard to get off as well.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I had the. I have no idea how I found it, but I had the jungle one. So that was just that had no black. It was just green, brown, and a slightly darker green.
Okay.
And that was really nice. Okay. Like it went on, all of them consistently went on the fingers, on the face, and came off like no problem at all.
Do you still have it?
I think I still have it.
Nice.
But I was just like, I had that, and I was like, I'm keeping this. And so in like year 11, when I was told, because to pass our NCO things, we have to teach the younger years to do stuff, and I was put on cam and concealment.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I can use this stuff.
Well, they were scrabbling with their like.
Yeah, and they were just like, yeah. I was like, get the fuck off my cam cream.
Yeah, no, the thing is, like, when I describe it to other people, it sounds completely insane. CCF, like we all run around with guns and like. Well, as I say,
completely out of context, it sounds weird.
It sounds really weird. It probably is a little bit. It's a bit weird.
It's a bit weird,
but it's just solid, good fun. Gets you outdoors when otherwise you might not go outdoors as much.
Yeah.
It teaches you teamwork and leadership and blah blah blah. It's basically all right, I'd say.
Basically all right.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Does mean that if China invades, we're the first ones to get conscripted. It's a bit worrying. Are you going to do OTC in university? Are you going to university?
I am planning on going to university.
Which one?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, I would.
Wouldn't they like to know?
Probably as well.
Would they like to stalk me?
Yes. Lincoln, is it?
Yeah, I'm planning on going to University of Lincoln.
Do they do OTC yet?
I have no idea.
OTC is CCF at universities.
Let me ask my friend Sam, because he's there.
Okay, you can ask him about it. That would be good. Because, yeah, it's meant to be really good, and you get paid to do it if you do OTC. They pay you to go, and you do more cool stuff as well.
Okay.
So, like, they do things like, you can use actual helmets, or like bump caps at least. You do stuff like where you fire blank rounds, there's also like a laser thing on the side, just like, it's like laser tag, but with blank rounds as well. And you do stuff where you fight each other basically, like, you're clearing out a bunker thing, you're trying to shoot each other, and you have like the targets on yourself. And it's meant to be quite cool.
Okay, I sent the question. Now we wait.
Now we wait indeed.
Right now my aunt is currently sending me a message. It's going to be something like, can you make it quiet? Can you make the music quieter, please? Because I've been given the task to do the music playlist for the party.
It's got 364 songs on it.
I just took a playlist off Spotify.
But is it sci-fi style?
Yeah, sci-fi style. So it's all synth.
Why don't you tell them what you're going as?
I am going as a Vault Dweller from Fallout 4.
Nice.
I've got Vault 111. I've got a Nerf gun with a strap on it, which is going to go across my back. Oh, he doesn't know what OTC is.
Then I assume that's a no from this guy. Never mind, I'll probably say. I am going as Arthur Dent from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which means I have a dressing gown, pyjamas, and a towel and slippers, which is all you need to explore the galaxy. Wouldn't you agree? And we are listening to some very odd music down here. Are you responsible? What is currently playing? Let's just check.
I changed the track, but at that point they were listening to the soundtrack from Tron Legacy, which is it's an awesome soundtrack. It was composed by Daft Punk. So
which one is this? Living Room?
All of them. It's
oh right here, everything except for the bathroom. The Cross makeup and vanity set.
It's a pretty cool song.
Is it again, it's all cyberpunk style, future stuff.
It's all synth.
Yeah. They have. It's quite cool. We've got those blankets that keep you warm that are made of like foil when you're out in the wilderness.
Space blankets.
They got loads of those, and they like stuck them against the walls to make it like retro sci-fi stuff.
We've also got some really cool balloons. Have you seen the balloons?
Yeah, I saw the balloons.
Those balloons are cool.
They're like really big ones with glowing blue inside.
Yeah.
Them. You've got some cool cocktails that are blue.
Yep.
Was it Klingon?
No, not Klingon. Romulan ale.
Romulan ale.
And my mum has mixed up some Slurm from Futurama for the kiddies.
What's in Slurm?
Well, do you want to know what's actually in Slurm or what's in this Slurm?
Both.
Well, in this Slurm, it's like lemonade and mint jelly and stuff like that.
Cool.
It's all right, and a bit of green.
Yeah.
Just to make it more green.
Yeah.
And in the episode of Futurama, it was like sort of the the excrement of the Queen Slurmulon or something.
I see. So
it was a fun episode. I really liked Slurms Mackenzie. He was like the spokesperson of Slurm, and like his sort of character was he always partied.
Yeah.
But then at the end, like you see, he's really tired of partying because his role is to 24/7 party.
Because he's a spokesman, I suppose. Yeah, that's quite good. Slurms Mackenzie.
Slurms Mackenzie.
Futurama was so great.
Futurama was really good.
And is it over?
Yes, it ended a while ago, which is sad, but at least it didn't become The Simpsons.
Yeah, it ended before you wanted it to end, which is the right way for it to happen. You don't want a show to end.
Yeah, like one of the tips when I was training to become a magician is they said always leave the audience wanting more.
Yeah.
Because it's better to leave them wanting more instead of leaving them bored.
Yeah.
Instead of making them go, you know what, I've had enough.
That was enough of the magic. Yeah, exactly. It's like Heroes. They did not get that right. First season, amazing.
I remember seeing Hero. I didn't really catch on to... Like, I discovered it before I sort of knew what box sets were.
Oh, fair. Yeah. Basically, for those who don't know, Heroes is a TV show where people around the world discover that they have superpowers.
Yeah.
And one of them can paint the future when he takes drugs. And he paints New York being destroyed by a massive explosion. And they all try and band together to stop it, and they don't know what it is. And there's various people. There's a guy called Hiro Nakamura who's in Japan, and he can teleport. He can teleport.
And stop time?
Yeah. And also he can travel in time and space, basically.
Yes. But at the beginning, you could only stop it.
Yeah. And then there's a cheerleader called Claire. Maybe that's the actress's name. There's a person called Claire in there who's a cheerleader.
Who's healing.
Can heal. Yeah, she can heal.
I remember there was the guy who played Spock in the new Star Trek.
Yeah, he's Sylar. Sylar, yeah.
Sylar,
and
he can take people's abilities.
He eats their brains.
He eats their brains,
and then he gets their ability. There's a guy called Matt who can do telekinesis. There's basically various heroes.
There was Christopher Eccleston who could become invisible. I remember him.
Oh yeah. There's another guy. These two brothers. One could fly, and the other one got people's abilities when he was around them.
He could, or touch them. Or
yeah. I think when he was touching them, he got their abilities. And then later on, spoilers, he can just keep their ability whenever he touches someone, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's basically they all band together to to stop, save the chili to save the world. I think is a thing that they repeat all the time.
Okay.
Save the chili to save the world is a big motif I seem to remember.
We're talking about superheroes again.
That's because superheroes are cool. They aren't. I think they were just more heroes than superheroes. But
yes, but they are heroes with superpowers.
Yeah, true.
Then again, fun fact: the term superhero is owned collectively by Marvel and DC.
Really?
Yeah.
So only Marvel and DC can have people called superheroes.
They can if I'm not entirely sure, but
are X-Men Marvel?
Yes.
But different cinematically to the rest of Marvel.
In the cinema universe, they're owned by Fox. So X-Men and Deadpool, they're owned by Fox. Then there's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is owned by Marvel. That's the Avengers and stuff. That's the Avengers that's owned by Marvel and Disney.
Okay.
Because Disney owns everything.
Everything. Star Wars as well now.
Yep.
Well,
they've owned Star Wars.
We've gone over an hour.
We have gone over an hour. Yeah, I think this is a good time to wrap it up.
Probably. Disney are evil. I didn't say that in case they sue me. I never said that. Disney aren't evil, they're lovely. It's gone to my head.
Disney used to be something. Now they're completely different from what they used to be. It's because of Disney, right? So, do you know what the public domain is?
Oh, I've seen the Adam Ruins Everything video about
this. Good.
Link it in the description.
I will link it in the description. So, in a nutshell, Disney is stopping stuff from going into the public domain and let me just say, it's really useful for stuff to go into the public domain. Because sorry, I got something in my throat. It's a Wonderful Life, the movie, and how it's played every year.
Yeah.
And how it's become like a tradition to watch it every year.
At Christmas. Yeah.
At Christmas. When it first came out, it completely tanked. It was a terrible, no one watched it.
All right.
It immediately lost all its money, and the companies could not afford to keep it under copyright.
Yeah.
So it almost immediately went into the public domain.
Yeah.
And so cheap TV stations were
they picked it up.
They picked it up, and they were like, like it's garbage, but it's free garbage. So they would just keep on playing it. But then people were like, hey, this movie's actually pretty good. And so now it's become a Christmas tradition. And so that is a great example of why stuff going into the public domain is really useful.
Okay.
And also, another, I'll
Link
in the description. Adam Ruins Everything, one of my favourite TV shows currently going on.
Okay, should we wrap up there?
We'll wrap this up right
Do we have a tagline that we say at the end of things?
No, it was usually, I'm Oliver Catford.
I'm Lucas Walker.
And we'll see you next time.
Which might be ages away,
might be ages, once in a blue moon. There we go. Will see you
in
next
blue
moon.
Next blue moon.
Next blue moon. Thank you.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
bye.